Welcome back, family, friends, colleagues, pop culture enthusiasts, and, well, anybody else that happened to stumble on the show. You are listening to, let's all fill in, the Top 5 Podcast. I am your main host, Chris McPeak. I don't know why I keep saying main host. I'm just going to say I'm Chris McPeak. And for today's thoughtful, thought-provoking, hilarious episode, I'm joined by my younger sister, my best friend, my soulmate, Annie Pruitt. Hello, Annie Pruitt.
Hello, big sister.
How are things in the heartland?
Things are quiet, a little cold today, but good. Yep.
I have noticed that the weather is taking a turn, at least here in California it is. And yesterday and the day before we're, wanting to turn the air conditioning on. And now I'm thinking we may have a fire one night because it's going to be in the 50s and 40s this next week. And WTF, it's first week of May. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, we had the AC on yesterday and the heat on today. So
isn't that hilarious? Yeah, they can't say global warming anymore. They really do need to say climate change because I don't know what's so damn warm. We are going to be laughing a lot today because our theme, just let it start right now. Our theme is comedy scenes that were so funny, we almost peed our pants, or we laughed until we cried, or we had to hack cough for the rest of the day from laughing so much. So Annie, before we started recording, we were kind of talking about exactly what we're looking for here. And so let's tell our amazing listeners kind of what we're going to focus on for these lists.
So it's either a theme from a movie or a bit from a TV show, just some type of comedy scene that we laughed so hard that we cried or almost peed our pants. But I would like to think that I just laughed so hard I cried. Like you get your ab workout, you're laughing so hard.
Yes. And in some cases, then that leads to me having to cough. I'm verklempt for like the rest of the time until I get to sleep. Okay. So this is going to be fun. And I venture to guess that there may be one or two. There's definitely one overlap, I think, in my personal opinion, but we shall see what we shall see. So I'm gonna go first. And I am selecting a few of various scenes from the movie Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. And in particular, everything Steve Carell does in this movie is just so deadpan hilarious because he's kind of playing this, touched person. I guess there's a point, I think, in the movie where they refer to him being slightly mentally retarded, but between the, him saying to not Christina Applegate, do you want to go to the pants party? Or the whole thing like, yeah, there was bears and a man on fire and I killed a guy with a trident. Like that's just, it's crazy. But I think the one that cracks me up the most is the whole thing with Paul Rudd as Brian Fantana talking about the Sex Panther cologne. And that's the smell of desire. And she says, no, it smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food. And then you've got somebody in the background saying, it smells like Bigfoot's dick. It just doesn't stop. So that's my number 5. Yes.
All right. My number 5, I'm going to go with, it's actually not in the movie, but Grumpy Old Men, the outtakes at the end of the film.
Oh my gosh. So, I do not think I've ever experienced those.
You got Burgess Meredith just over and over and over again, different like ways of saying that he's going to have sex with her. He's going to hide the cannoli, or I don't even remember because it's been so long since I've seen it. But all of the outtakes are you could just watch that and get a gist for the movie itself. But they're hysterical, hilarious. Just the combination of Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon was amazing to begin with, but the fact that they were funnier as they grew older. So yeah, my number 5 is going to be the outtakes from Grumpy Old Men from 1993.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, let's see. let's see. My number 4 in particular, and I don't know if this is so funny because of the thing itself, or if it's so funny because we discovered it together on our Hamel Go-Go trip when you and Jenny came to LA. We didn't go to see Hamilton or see the Go-Go's, but we had a lovely time in Hollywood nonetheless. And we discovered Mean Tweets, which how did I never discover Mean Tweets before? But this particular episode is number 12. And there's 2 things that stand out. One is oh my gosh, now I'm going to forget. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. But Jake Gyllenhaal, bless his heart, penis smells like hot dog water. And just the way he irks out the hot dog water, it's just out of control. I once caught a fart so bad that it became a supporting character in a David Spade movie or something like that. They were about to cast David Spade as a supporting character in the movie. And he reads that and he said, I actually auditioned for that. So funny. Anyway, if you've never experienced Mean Tweets from the Jimmy Kimmel Show, you can find a plethora of them on YouTube. So there you go. This one in particular, Mean Tweets 12, has a bunch of gems in it.
Okay. Yes, I love the Mean Tweets. I love the like, you don't go on them if you can't, if you take yourself too seriously, you can't be on that.
So true.
So, okay, my number 4 is kind of the whole movie, but particularly there is one scene that gets me like giggling a lot. So We're the Millers from 2013.
Okay.
So Jason Sudeikis, who I freaking love everything that guy does. One scene in particular is he and Jennifer Aniston, they're pretending to be a couple and they're in a tent with the guy who plays Ron. I don't even know the actor's name, but they're in a tent with this other couple and they're talking about like having a like swinging and it amounts to when the lady like touches Jennifer Aniston's boob, and that was enough, like on the outside of the shirt. But and that was enough for them. But so the tent scene, but overall, like the whole movie just is hysterical, and the outtakes in that one are funny too. So Jason Sudeikis, everything he does, I love. So that's my number.
Totally get hip on I need to get hip on the whole Jason Sudeikis train because I am just not there, but I should be.
You'll get there
because it sounds like. I mean, I know I saw him do I've seen him do Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, and that's pretty goofy, but yeah. Okay, so Apple TV. Got to get into what is it? Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso's the show. Okay. My number 3, you referenced this power comedy couple, if you will, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. I am going with the clearing of the ears in the diner after they're out. Felix has tried to kill himself, and so they're out and about and getting some air and the whole 9 yards. And there was an ice cream cone that was just thrown on him, and so they go to the diner, and Walter Matthau's going to get a pastrami, all fat, or Felix is going to get a cup of tea, and they move because the air conditioning's too crazy. And all of a sudden, Jack Lemmon starts doing this, and oh God. Okay. And Walter Matthau's like, cut it out. What are you doing? I'm trying to clear up my ears. You build the pressure up behind the eustachian tubes and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on about allergic to everything and Francis's perfume, and she could only wear my aftershave, and I was impossible to live with. It doesn't stop. And then he goes, okay, I think I strained my throat. So with Felix Unger, it's like one thing after another of just pure ridiculousness. But this scene is just so nutty because I think what makes it so funny is we all know we've done it. We all know we've made funny faces when we were trying to equalize or pop our ears, whether we're just got off a roller coaster or we're driving in the mountains or any of the things. So that's a good one.
Talking about The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple, correct.
Yeah. Yes. That was definitely a Mayer House family favorite.
Absolutely.
My number 3 is and again, I haven't seen this movie in a really long time, so now I'm inspired to giggle and watch these movies again. But 2008 Pineapple Express. James Franco, somehow the windshield gets smashed. And so he kicks, I think he's handcuffed to the steering wheel or something, and he kicks a hole through the windshield. And then they're driving. He's like, he goes, it's okay. I can see through my foot hole. And I just lost it. I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard. But the entire scene, they're just so idiotic in this movie. But I loved it. So Pineapple Express, I can see through my foot hole.
That's hilarious. The whole, is it Judd Apatow? Did
Yeah.
he write that? Because he's the Anchorman guy, but he's also the Freaks and Geeks guy. I mean, Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, Paul Rudd, to a certain extent, that whole crew is just, they are complete comedic masterpiece people. Oh my Lord.
I'm looking it up. I don't know if it's I think it's an Apatow. So yes, it is.
When you think of the cast, in some cases, like a lot of them, I guess, roll over. What's the right? I mean, they cross over into different, and they, they're in each other's movies and this, that, and the other thing. Well, I do research. We all do research. There were a handful of these that, like, right off the top of my head, I was like, oh yeah, this is at the top of the list. But then it's like you're wondering, well, what else does America consider to be funny? And I went down the Mojo video rabbit hole with that whole thing. I have to go back and watch Tropic Thunder, apparently, because I had forgotten about that whole thing with Tom Cruise, which is, I remember that being very funny.
Yeah.
That might be on your list. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So my number 2 is from, I think, 1982, Richard Pryor and the Toy, which to go back now and watch that movie, there's just so much horribly racist and inappropriate things happening in the movie. But I dare anybody on this planet to get through the Wonder Wheel scene without just absolutely losing your mind. And I think between you and me and Jenny, we can do the whole bit from beginning to end. It just, Wonder Wheel.
Oh my God.
Great.
It's great.
Bounces. What's dangerous about it? Oh my God. We won't do more because we won't be able to finish the show, but oh my God. So surely you can find that on YouTube, and then you don't have to watch the whole movie. But a lot of that movie is
so
hilarious.
good. It's like, we watched it with our kids sometime in the last year, and it just speaks volumes to like what the message they were trying to get across, because there's a very serious themes in the movie, and it's it's underwritten by the comedy of it, of course, but I mean, it's still like to this day, it's still very, very, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Like when you talk about social justice, that movie has some serious messages, and it's like we weren't listening.
And I think people bought too much into the fact that it was offensive without getting into what is the underlying message of what they're trying to say in this film. Besides the Wonder Wheel, of course. Anyway, that's my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is 21 Jump Street from 2012. So the scene when they do the drugs because they're, undercover cops, but from the giggles that they have with the coach's eyebrows crawling off of his face, Channing Tatum doing his flux capacitor and dropping the mic and saying "fuck you" sign. The entire scene is I can watch it over and over and over again. So 21 Jump Street, fuck you science. I love it.
That's awesome. Everything. That showed up in the Mojo video, and you don't think of Channing Tatum as being a funny guy, because what always crops up to me first is he's incredibly handsome and he's a really good dancer. But if you've seen Lip Sync Battle, you know that he can be funny. So science. Oh yeah. Okay. I am going to go with, for my honorable mention, I'm just thinking of, and again, comedy that would get a bad name now, but in the 80s, I don't think you could do much funnier than Eddie Murphy. And the stand-up films that he did between Comedian and Raw, there was some crazy, hilarious shit in that. And I think what people forget about Eddie Murphy is that he did some pretty amazing impersonations. And
Yeah.
so I think it's in Raw where he does the whole thing with the Bill Cosby and the Eddie Murphy ticket. Now.
Yeah.
And that one is great, and happened to be watching I don't know if you've seen the Brooke Shields documentary that's on Hulu, but they reference the whole thing about her and Michael Jackson. And that reminded me of the joke from Raw about Eddie Murphy saying something about Brooke and Michael not having sex because Michael is Michael. And yeah, I forget. Anyway, it's crazy. It's silly, but Eddie Murphy had a talent. He definitely still has a talent. He's a very funny man. And some of these jokes, particularly when there are impersonations involved,
Yeah.
are pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Now that's a fire.
How would you like to fuck me in the ass? Okay, sorry. That's bad. Bad.
Okay, my honorable mention is it's the Catalina fucking wine mixer. Step Brothers, 2008. There are quite a few scenes that make me like laugh out loud in that movie. And I'm the only person in this house that likes that movie. I guess it's just but the fight scene that they have on their front lawn, to so many activities, and then the Catalina wine mixer. Those three scenes, but then the whole movie like gives me an ab workout. I love it. So yeah, Step Brothers 2008. Will Ferrell is comic gold.
John C. Reilly is hilarious too. The whole thing when they make the bunk beds. By the way, do you like guacamole? Like, what is that? He jumps about the bed falls down. I don't know if it's the physical comedy that's so funny or if it's the line, like the lead into it, and the whole thing with the "you touch my drum set." Like, we all know where that's going. Those two guys are so hilarious together.
They're awesome.
Amazing comic timing. They're both funny. Oh, see, the hacking has begun. Okay, my number one comes from the Big Bang Theory, which in itself could, top 5 Big Bang funny episodes of all time. But this one stays with me so much. And I refer to this as To the Metric System. This is where Sheldon finds himself at the Cheesecake Factory at Penny's bar, and he wants alcohol, ethyl alcohol. And thanks to tech savvy alcoholics, there's an app for that. So he's complaining about how he wronged Howard. There's a delightful little metaphor of Star Trek II and the Kobayashi Maru, which Sheldon is very impressed that Penny knows about. So anyway, he orders what? To James Tiberius Kirk. He orders a Rosewater Ricky, and she pours him a shot of tequila. So he drinks the tequila. I forget what he toasts to first. If it was James Tiberius Kirk is first. Drink the shot and spit it back in the glass, and then says, "I can't taste the cherries." But then he drinks the shot 2 more times with another toast and spits it back in the glass all 3 times. And it's just priceless. Oh my gosh. To the metric system. And that's the final toast. He leaves the bar, comes back and spits it back, much to our horror, but oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, I love I love. Oh my God. Okay.
I do love me some Sheldon.
You're gonna have to edit out some of the laughter. Okay. My number one. So one of my favorite things to giggle at is breaking character for performers on center. So I'll watch collections of just breaking character. But the greatest one is a skit called Close Encounter, and it's an alien abduction skit from 2015. So you've got Kate McKinnon on this panel, and Ryan Gosling is the host that they're all describing their abduction experience. And, Ryan Gosling is seeing God, and Kate McKinnon is getting prodded and getting her boobs knocked, and just with her cigarette and and Ryan Gosling can't keep it together. So at one point, like, he has to pretend like he's crying because he's covering his face because he's laughing. The panel, like the FBI people that are questioning them, can't keep their faces straight. The entire nobody can keep their shit together because Kate McKinnon is just that funny. It is the it's the greatest. She is funny if people were like breaking character and then losing it. So yeah, that's my number one.
Oh my
And
God.
every time we get a cake, that's the one that's my go-to.
I totally thought you were going to say the Debbie Downer one.
Oh,
That one's pretty
Yeah,
funny too. Oh
yeah.
man. Rachel Dratch. Wah,
Oh
wah,
God.
wah.
Oh.
Okay, so let's recap. What have you go first?
Be all SNL because I would have done Debbie Downer also because that the Disney one. So okay, to recap, honorable mention was the Step Brothers, and then I've got Grumpy Old Men outtakes, We're the Millers, Pineapple Express with a Foothole, 21 Jump Street, Fuck You Science, and number one, Close Encounter for SNL, the skit. Okay, that's my
My honorable mention was various bits and pieces from Eddie Murphy's stand-up, in particular from Raw, where he's impersonating Bill Cosby. And then there's various scenes from the movie Anchorman, notably the Sex Panther and the gang fight where Brock killed someone with a trident. Number 4 is Mean Tweets 12. Number 3 is Popping Our Ears in the Diner from The Odd Couple. Number 2, Wonder Wheel. I'm the Wonder Wheel champion of the world from The Toy. And my number 1 is To the Metric System from The Big Bang Theory. And maybe we'll pull some laugh tracks off of a couple of these for our exit music, our outro. Oh my gosh.
so good.
So everybody go ahead and get yourself some water and rehydrate, because I'm sure Annie and I have just worn you down with all of our snickering and giggling. Maybe I will not edit out all the giggles. Maybe people will find them endearing. Anyway, you've been listening to the Top 5 Podcast. That's Annie, I'm Chris, and we will for sure catch up with you in another episode in the near future.